Stalingrad, the blood-soaked turning point of World War II. Of all the brutal engagements in World War II, few match the ferocity and stakes of the Battle of Stalingrad, 1942 to 1943. Adolf Hitler and his Wehrmacht advanced into the Soviet Union under Operation Barbarossa, expecting a rapid collapse of Soviet resistance. Instead, the conflict bogged down in intense urban warfare along the Volga River, culminating in a city that became synonymous with endurance, desperation, and total war. Stalingrad's strategic importance was twofold: symbolic and practical. Renamed in honor of Joseph Stalin, it represented both Soviet pride and control over essential industrial and transport routes. For Hitler, capturing it was a matter of prestige, a direct challenge to Stalin's namesake city. German forces bombed Stalingrad into rubble, but the Soviets turned the debris into defensive networks of snipers' nests, machine gun positions, and labyrinthine strongholds. The battle devolved into a street-by-street, building-by-building fight. Soviet snipers like Vasily Zaitsev became legendary, picking off German officers from hidden vantage points. Civilians were trapped in the midst of the chaos, surviving in basements and makeshift shelters as artillery and aerial bombs rained down. Temperatures plummeted during Russia's winter, sapping morale on both sides. Frostbite, hunger, and the stench of decay worsened day by day, yet neither force would yield. Then came Operation Uranus in November 1942. The Red Army, commanded by General Georgy Zhukov, launched a massive pincer movement north and south of the city, encircling the entire German Sixth Army. Cut off from supplies, outnumbered and battered by relentless assaults, German troops under General Friedrich Paulus found themselves in a deadly cauldron. Despite Hitler's insistence that they fight to the last man, the reality of starvation and sub-zero conditions forced a grim decision. In February 1943, Paulus, newly promoted to Field Marshal, an honor never before bestowed on a German officer who was expected to surrender, capitulated anyway. Over 90,000 German soldiers trudged into Soviet captivity, many of them too weak to stand. The devastation stunned the world. Axis powers lost hundreds of thousands in the campaign, and Soviet casualties soared even higher. Soviet Union demonstrated it could withstand the might of Nazi Germany. Stalingrad's aftermath rippled across the Eastern Front. German morale suffered a significant blow as the myth of Wehrmacht invincibility disintegrated. The Soviets, now on the offensive, began a push that would ultimately lead them to Berlin in 1945. Stalingrad as the decisive pivot in the European theater of World War II. For both sides, the lessons were harsh. Even today, memorials like the Mamayev Kurgan stand as solemn reminders of valor and suffering on a scale rarely witnessed in human history. Subscribe to Legends of the Battlefield for more in-depth explorations of history's most defining conflicts.